You know, it's not every day that we get to begin a challenge as insane as this one. However, this challenge was indeed probably some of the most fun I've had in a video game in a long time. It's probably just because of the mods. It wasn't really because of the game so much, it was more just the mods that allowed us to have this much fun. Now, before we begin the video, I just want to say that we have unfortunately lost someone that was very large, which was a very large part of me even starting doing challenge content, and that is Mitten Squad. Unfortunately, I heard news a few days ago of his passing, so this video is for him. So, we begun the challenge very simply. We're going to go off of the fact that we don't know who Master Chief is, and that's how I like it. So, we simply make a generic looking character, name him Master Chief. We take the United Colonies native, which in this case is UNSC, and we basically begin. Our first weapon is of course the Magnum, which I completely forgot that because the Magnum replaced the Eon, it meant that we immediately got a Magnum. And really, like, this covered our weapon for quite a bit, which was pretty decent. It wasn't obviously the best, but it was the best we had for a while, and you'll see it will take a bit for us to upgrade to a better weapon. So dispatching of the pirates was quite simple. So we talked to Barrett. He tells us that we need to get to the lodge. Vasco's going to help us get there. Protocol Indigo, as they called it. He then hands us a watch, and we are off on our merry way. Merry Christmas, by the way, for any of those that are celebrating, or Happy Hanukkah, however you guys do that. Sorry, I'm not too versed in that. Anyway, so we get back into space, and we destroy some Crimson Fleet members. Vasco decides that, yeah, we're not going to stop getting chased, so why don't we go down to the planet that they're held out on and just take them out? You know, that'll get them to stop, right? So we talk to the head honcho and politely ask him to stop assaulting us, and that seems to do the trick because, well, he was laying on the ground unconscious, so I assumed that he just agreed. At least I think he was unconscious. I don't know. So we head to New Atlantis, finally land on the planet. Why am I having such an issue with this? Anyway, so we find our first set of marine gear. And this gear will carry us for quite a bit because it's the best armor we're going to have for a while. So we buy it, spend like all of our money on it, and we are out of there. Unfortunately, did not find any new weapons or anything, so we still just have the Magnum, but at least we have some cool Spartan armor. We then go talk with Sarah, and she's very curious as to why we're there and Barrett is not. So we simply tell her that, hey, it is what it is. So after that, we go talk with Tuala and join the UNSC. Now, of course, I know it's not the actual UNSC, but it is the closest thing we're going to get to with this playthrough. So we take our UNSC exam by taking down simulated ships, which was fairly easy with the ship they gave us, which, might I mention, the ship that they created here for this mission is actually pretty cool. It's pretty unique. I like it. I like the look of it. So we go talk with Tuala after that, pass our exam with flying colors. He is absolutely impressed. So that was great. We then get enacted into the UNSC Vanguard. And first thing he has for us is comms repair. Wow, really make me feel like I'm part of the UNSC. I gotta go do comms repair. So we land on the planet Tau Ceti, and we discover an absolute bloodbath has happened here. We find an injured person named Hadrian, and apparently a Terramorph attacked. So, time to go deal with the Terramorphs, which from now on I will be calling the Terramorph the Flood, just so we're aware. So, we talk with Hadrian about the Flood that we just killed, and she says that this is a different type of flood than they've experienced before. I go talk with Tuala, and he was very shocked to hear that I had killed a flood during a comms repair. And let's just say from there, I go then to the UNSC Vigilance for a mission of incredible importance. We talk with Commander Conde, and our mission is this. We have to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet. Now, this would be a chore. Somehow, though, we get into the Crimson Fleet even though we look like a UNSC Spartan, so I guess they don't care that we simply, I guess they think we stole the armor. They're not very intelligent there, I suppose. So, we get into the Crimson Fleet, and before we can fully get in, we have to go find this person, Austin Rake, and ask him to take a little bit of a detour from his current plan so that way he doesn't die, because that is exactly what they wanted. I go back, kill some Ecliptics, and we're led into the Crimson Fleet. On the key, we talk to Delgado, and he officially enacts us in and has us go down to the Lock, which is a prison that they used, which got overran quite a few years ago. So, on the surface of the planet, it's like freezing cold. It's not fun. We get attacked by Grillobos, Grillabas. I don't know how to pronounce it. Don't ask me. Anyway, we get attacked by them. They're not fun looking at all. So that happened. But then I hear something that I hated, that the roof collapsed and now I'm stuck with the sarcastic douchebag known as Mathis. And he's just an asshole. He tries to get us to kill Delgado. It is just a whole bad situation. I should have turned him in, which, you'll see what happens. So we pry open the base and find Jasper Crix's best laid plans, which now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how that voice thing fit in the back. Oh well. Anyway, so we end up killing the Grillaba Queen as a final boss, let's say, and I'm really feeling the issue of still only having a Magnum this far in, and it's not feeling great at all. In fact, it's feeling real bad. So we then talk with Zuri and buy, that's right, the assault rifle. I can't quite remember the name for it right now, but I'm sure all of you that have played Halo know exactly what I'm talking about. So we finally got an upgrade, which is super great. So we talked to Neva, and she basically tells us, look, you're going to go and steal this award, whether you like it or not, or I'm docking your pay. Now, of course, Master Chief doesn't care too much about pay, but he also does need to fit in. So we talk with Evgeny Rokov, and he's going to help us steal this award. in more ways than one, and basically in return I'm going to give him good word to get back into the Crimson Fleet. We then talk with some society patrons, which lead us to Claudius Swist, which is bunking with the guy we're after. And let's just say she's more than willing to help us. But who's not willing to help us is Gabriel Vera, who she leads us to next. Gabriel Vera does not want to speak to us at all on the matter. So, we talk with Sheila to get her ID, so that way we can take the award, and for some reason, the persuasion works and she just allows it. I don't know why, but we steal the award, we shut down the power to enact an emergency, and then we go talk again with Gabriel Vera, where he actually gives us some good information in return for some good old credits. So, we give this man some credits, he tells us what Dombrowski's been up to, and then we're off to talk to Dombrowski. Dombrowski is a very intelligent man by his standards, and he finds himself a very logical person. He gives us what we need to get into Galbank to get the information. At Galbank, we are attacked by ecliptic mercenaries set by, well, who knows, really? They don't really pose too much of an issue, especially with our assault rifle. So, really, this is just a bloodbath for them. Especially when I down one and I just play with him a bit. I just smack him in the head a bit and then I finish him off. Back to Naeva, tell her, my apologies, that Rokov helped tremendously and he should totally be let back into the fleet. Now, that may cause issues later on. We'll see. We go back, report back to Commander Conde, and tell him that they may have discovered a solution to getting the Galbank credits off of the ship, called the Comm Spike. So back to Naeva, we're talking, and apparently Jazz has come up with a actual full solution on how to get the Comm Spike. So we get smuggled onto a UNSC station, and they kind of I don't know, these guys are pretty dumb. I was literally able to just persuade them that I forgot my uniform inside. Take a uniform, get down to the lower levels, talk with Vogel, and this guy is the head of the testing division, I suppose is what you could call it, and he just allows us to become a pilot after our little white lie, and we take off with the ship, and we head back to the key. Back at the key, they begin ripping apart the ship, and basically Delgado talks about the electrical magnetic issues that we would have happen. So, off to the city of Neon, but first, we have to go talk with Lieutenant Toft and, of course, General Conde, or Commander Conde, and we report back. We then go land on Neon to talk with Estelle Vincent. There's a lot of talking to people in this game. I think that's the most annoying thing. Is it's not like Skyrim, it's not like Fallout, where it's there's a lot of action. There's just a ton of just talk to this person, talk to that person. So then we're in Jardine Labs. We find Brayson Bayou, which is willing to screw over his brother for seemingly no reason. We then find Benjamin Bayou, and he's incredibly mad. In fact, he's so mad that he pins a murder on us. Which, now that I think about it, nothing happened. So, we're back to Naeva. And she tells us like all hell's breaking loose and shit like that. But when I talk to Delgado, it doesn't seem like there's an emergency at all. So I don't know what happened there. I guess general Bethesda issues or something happened. So in Bannock, we are getting zippity zapped with lightning like every second, and it just takes down our shield, and it is not a fun place to be. On the ship, we are attacked by robots and security robots, turrets, just everything. And finally, we get the Halo shotgun in a safe. Now, of course, I didn't show you it, but we did end up getting the energy sword as well. That one was like, I didn't really show too much of it, but we did end up getting the energy sword as well. We find out that Jasper Cricks died here because, well, he got screwed over and was stranded. Couldn't do anything with any of the credits. We hear about his horrible, sad story, and we succeed where he failed. Simple as that. We basically caused the ship to self-destruct itself as the electromagnetic pulses just rip apart the ship as I'm inside. So it's a mad dash to my ship to not get ripped apart. Back to the UNSC Vigilance, and it's time to show our true face. So we talk with Commander Conde, give him what we've got, and he sends us off on basically a Slayer mission. We grab our energy sword and we just take everybody out. This is probably the time that I felt like the most like overpowered, is just taking my energy sword and slashing through everybody. It's also one of the most fun to do, and I'm sure like it doesn't change the fact of like what weapon this is, it's just general fun. So we killed Rokov, which, to be fair, like it's funny that we helped him get back in, and then he would end up murdered just, a few minutes later technically. Although in game I'm sure it was like hours later or something. So, it is what it is there. Kill some pirates, talk with Delgado, and somehow persuade the guy not to blow everybody up. And which doesn't really sit well with me. Like, if he's a pirate that's like, if he's the lead pirate, right? And he somehow just allows me, an absolute like nobody, just persuade him, oh yeah, come peacefully. What? You're not gonna go down with your ship? You're not gonna cause more issues? But whatever, it is what it is. We finish up that quest line, and now we are on to the last part of the quest line before we can truly become Master Chief. We talk with this bartender that seems to think that we're not who we say we are, even though we're in full Spartan gear, but hey, it is what it is. We pay some man's debt of 21,000 credits, which, I mean, if you're playing the game from that quest on, it's probably like all your credits you have, but for me it was nothing. Then we're sent off to go find the man that we paid the debt off for, and it seems that the Spacers have him well hidden. So we take down the Spacers with relative ease with our lovely shotgun. Now, I wouldn't show like any of the skills that I got during this, and it wasn't because I didn't want to, it's just I felt that they were unnecessary. I think I only showed one time when I was doing anything skill based. So why don't we just take this moment real quick while I'm just slaying things to say that I know it's been a while, and I'm fully back now. So if you guys would like to see more challenge content like this, please subscribe. I do like doing these, and they're a lot of fun, especially because the next Starfield video I have planned after this is also gonna be an awesome one. It probably won't be as long as this one because I know that this one is like incredibly long, and it's literally just because of the fact that it was 24 hours of footage that I had to cut down, and this is the farthest I can cut it down to. And that's just how it was. Wasn't too much I could do with that, but it is what it is. So as you can see, we continue our Slayer mission, and then we find the man that we paid the debt for, Mr. Percival. We hand Percival the flood data that we had, and he is also very concerned. So we take him to Hadrian, and then they get to be concerned together, I guess, because that's a good thing, I suppose. We are then sent to talk on the council on the data that we received, and they don't really care. And that's kind of just how it is until, oh my gosh, all of a sudden, a flood attack. So, we load our shotgun, and it is time to take down some more flood. Now, during this, I found something that I wasn't expecting. I found some actual UNSC Spartans there. And I was like, oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. Because I didn't know, like I knew that the mod replaced armor, but I wasn't expecting to find like the medics wearing it. So then it's a lovely fight with some flood, and let's just say the flood do not go down easily at all. We talk with the fire team leader, which, might I mention, like, the fact that he is the fire team leader and they're wearing Spartan armor is one of the coolest moments that I've had in Starfield. So, I take the fire team and we go take down 2 more flood. And, yeah, they go down, you know, fairly easily. They are lower level than the flood that we fought in the like earlier. So with the fire team's help and with my lovely assault rifle, we make quick work of them and we walk away like badasses. Now of course I did notice finally that they were wearing white armor, but you know, it's still pretty cool. We then get the council's approval to talk with the Freestar Collective and House Faroon to open up the archives. I basically blackmail Miss Radcliffe to give us what we need. I go through a very creepy House Faroon area to discover a shriveled up, well, not entirely shriveled up, but you know, a fairly old man that's just living here by himself, being guarded by killer robots. His name is Balmore. So, nice. So, we talk with Balmore, go and get the documents that we need from the UNSC. We get enacted into the UNSC as a full citizen, because apparently citizenship is not just like, you can't just be born there and be a citizen. We talk with some stranger that we then find out is Ve Victus, and that's, you know, interesting, because he was supposed to have been dead, executed if my memory serves. He sends us to go murder a old acquaintance of his, which yeah, his old acquaintance, like, he puts up a fight, but it's not a good fight. Like, his shields are pretty weak, he overall is pretty weak, and he's apparently a level 28, but he doesn't feel like a level 28. Considering I was just able to just target his engines and he's basically done for. We board and he commits a heinous act on himself and basically tries to delete the data, fails. We go back to Vevictus and he upholds his end of the deal by giving us the research team, but what he can't give us is a robot that we will need named Kaiser. We talk with Hadrian, and tell her that, yep, we have the research team, we just need to go get Kaiser. We find Kaiser in basically a junk heap filled with heat leeches. We kill the heat leeches, and he's like, oh yeah, low power, can you like go grab a power cell? Grab the microcell? Give him the microcell, and he's back to work again. So that's great, except he doesn't want to leave with me. He has one last mission apparently, and his one last mission is to annihilate the last xeno warfare like animal, I suppose. And that xeno warfare animal is captured by ecliptics. So as you can imagine, the ecliptics have to go as well. So after a short battle and me shooting Kaiser occasionally, they do go down. I'm not in any like relative danger here. Like, I don't think during the entire challenge was I in any danger, to be honest. Like, this was fairly easy, considering like Kaiser's basically acting as the tank here while I just do damage from above. So good job on Kaiser. We then have to kill Unit 99 Xeno warfare animal thing, and they kind of just sit around being a broken mess the entire time, not really knowing what to do. Could come after me, but decides to stand still and get shot at, I suppose. Head back to Hadrian, and she tells us that the flood lines are breeding quickly, and we have two choices. We can either create a microbe or breed an Achilles, I believe was the word for it. Head to Londinian, and well, this right here, Londinian, reminds me of Reach in like certain aspects, like the city of Reach, but only in certain aspects. So we go talk with the commander of the place, and they says that we are not getting any reinforcements, nothing, but what they will give us is gear. And well, this is where we finally claim the title, Master Chief. We grab the armor and we suit up. And might I just say that like this moment, like living up to this, was absolutely incredible, because we went through the the Crimson storyline, whatever you want to call that. Then like this is the end of the basically UNSC storyline, like both storylines. So at the end, being able to equip Master Chief's armor and just absolutely go to town on these friggin' flood, it just felt good. It felt very Halo-like, and that's really what I was pushing for doing this challenge. So we take down some flood, find out that flood can be invisible apparently, so that's not fun. Fun fact, Hadrian is in Spartan armor, so that's cool. We find out that heat leeches can they react to the Lazarus plant, and it causes them to become flood. So heat leeches are flood. Heat leech equals flood. Got it? Good. So we then have to kill another flood, the same flood that was created from that heat leech. Now it's just a baby. It doesn't really. It's not as powerful. So they don't take too long. Just like a few rounds, and that's about it. We find out that Vevictus knew about the Lazarus plant and tries to keep the planet safe by bombing everybody and just annihilating like everybody. So we then, with the help of every animal, we then take down the flood, like queen, I guess, hive mind, whatever you want to call it. Head back to Vevictus, and yeah, we accuse him because like we have plenty of evidence that he did it. He's the only one that knew about the Lazarus plant besides one other person. But we can't tell his daughter because it causes issues. However, we do need to tell the council, and his daughter's going to find out anyway. So we decide to tell the council, and that's where she finds out that Vevictus organized the attacks. Her father. Now, I don't know what they do with Vevictus. I hope they, like, you know, gave him the death sentence or something. We then give our vote and say that we're doing the microbe because we want the flood to be annihilated completely, because we do not want another situation to happen where the flood just takes over the planet. So we then get awarded our very own apartment, which we will spend literally this only moment in there. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. We then buy the absolute most expensive, best ship in the game, and realize a certain issue. So you see how it says Reactor C? Yeah, so I haven't been upgrading our pilot skills the entire time. So our piloting skill is too low. So we still buy it, but instead we're just gonna wait to use it. Now, this was probably my worst choice, was like waiting, because I feel like I could have got there, but it is what it is. So we take Sarah to Mars, and basically we persuade a man to help us go find another man. And he sends us to a satellite beacon, where the beacon then tells us that he went to a star station that had been abandoned. See, like, it's just a lot of like, oh, go talk to this person, go talk to this person, go do this thing to go find this person. It's a lot of that. It's really annoying. But like, as you can see, we are now on the main story, which I would say is the weaker part of Starfield. But I digress. So we find out that Mora Odoro decides to piss off the spacers and take off. We find him with using the artifact as a freaking hood ornament, and that is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. So we take his glorified hood ornament and head back to the lodge, where we find Sam. Sam will be our next person that we go find an artifact with. Now Sam has a daughter, and that's all you're really going to know about the guy, because we're not going to spend too much time with him. We talk with his father to convince him to give us the keys to a family heirloom, I guess. I don't get it, considering that, like, he could have just said no. He said it was like all about family, so the fact that I was able to convince him to give it to us was very odd. So we take down a bunch of bandits, I guess, and we take the artifact. We have a moment of reflection as we stare at a bunch of lines on the screen. Very nice. Then it's off to go talk with our old supervisor and find Barrett, where she says that the pirates attacked again, and we gotta go get her I don't know if it's like friend or what it is, but they took Heller, and we need to get him back. We find Heller on a crashed ship, and he literally is fine. So I don't know. But Barrett is nowhere to be seen. And so we have to find Barrett. And Barrett is going to be, well, in probably one of the strangest situations I've ever heard of, really. So, yeah, Heller tells us of their, like, grand escape or whatever, and how Barrett literally shot the pilot in the head, and it caused the ship to crash. That was fun. We find Barrett talking to the pirate and just being friendly with him, and he tries to get us to pay I can't think of it right now. And we take them down with no issues. Obviously, the shotgun is absolutely overpowered. We then go talk with Vladimir, and Vladimir says that Mato went out recently, but he's worried about Andrea. And I find her doing this. Why is he doing this? I don't know. Sorry, she. She even reloads. And she just keeps going. The guy's been like on the ground for like a good minute now. And she just doesn't care, I guess. There you go, another reload. So after that interruption, she helps me go find the other artifact Iota. And yeah, getting these out is a real pain. Just saying, it's a real pain. Then it's off to find another artifact that we got from the Eye, which we find in a occupied cave. Good job. Good naming. It's not like it's, windy. It's not like it's like Iota Cavern or whatever you want to name it. Nope, it's just, occupied cave, where we take artifact Zeta back to Vladimir, tell him that, hey, got any more artifacts? And yeah, he does. But they are starting to get a little bit farther away. And by farther away, he means like barely far at all. And this is where we discover temples. Now, temples aren't artifacts. This is where I realize Andrea's still following us, and I'm fine with it for now, but she will need to go. We then play Capture the Stars while we wait for the rings to stop spinning. The rings stop spinning, we go inside, and we get this awesome moment right here, where that is just a great shot. We are then granted a power that we don't use, because who cares? Walter Stroud then wants us to help him achieve the next artifact, which is on Neon. And he says, oh yeah, it'll be easy. So we strike up a deal with the person the thief basically, who stole it. And we didn't know who he stole it from. And, well, we'll get to that in a second. So we find out that it is stolen, but luckily I have security on our side. So security takes care of it, and we're fine for now. But the person that it was stolen from is Nicholas Stroud, I think. It's whatever. No, not Nicholas Stroud. It's something. So basically, Nicholas has us either spare the guy's life or send him to prison, whatever. Then, as we're leaving, we have an incoming transmission from Helix where they tell us to stop with the artifacts and to give away the artifact we just got. And Master Chief ain't taking that, so we're attacking this. Now, of course, this is a level 30 that, frankly, ain't shit. So, we end up having a lovely fight where I realized that I'm definitely going to need to upgrade my piloting skills so I can use the brand new ship. And it was right here that I noticed it, because that's kind of just when I started to care, is when I started to notice that I was losing shield way too quickly. So that's what we do. We begin a long run of killing, see, 30, 15, it was, I want to say, like 50-ish ships that we had to take down in total to upgrade our piloting skill to max. And yeah, it takes a while. It takes a very long while. I think it took about an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish, just to take these guys down. Now, lucky for me, the spacers are usually no issue, and the ecliptics are even less of an issue considering their shields are like butter. Now, the Varoons are probably the hardest ship besides the those Starborn. So we then achieve the highest rank that we possibly can in piloting. Now we can use Reactor C. This means we can use our brand new ship, the Narwhal, which I don't know much about a Narwhal, but does it look like a Narwhal? Like, I guess, because don't Narwhals have like a little horn on the front? Anyway, so we take our new ship out for a little test drive, and let's just say this is the most powerful ship I've ever felt and had the luxury of being able to use. Like, it just wipes out the shield with no issues and completely takes down the ship with no issues. Even like the boulders, the asteroids, even the asteroids like aren't nothing. They don't mean anything. It's just how it is. So it's time to go after more artifacts. So off to Aidani 3A, where we discover our first Starborn attack. But well, Starborn still ain't shit. So we claim the artifact with, once again, no issues. Land on another planet, Ptolemy 1, and whoa, lo and behold, another artifact that is, you know, easy, and another Starborn to kill. Which, the Starborn don't have shield in this, so like, really, they're nothing. It just take them down pretty quickly. Another artifact claimed. Now we're off to the Scow, where a collector has a artifact, and we need that artifact. So we convince them to let us board, and we politely request them to give us the artifact. And they totally oblige with no bloodshed whatsoever. What you're seeing is totally just a simulation. I didn't kill this many people to get the artifacts. yeah. So we take the artifact peacefully, and I noticed that we get a bounty, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Only 500 bounty, so is what it is. We go talk with people at the lodge, and we find out that the Eye has been attacked. And Sam is on the ground. The hunter then comes for us, and we have to have a little stand down at the lodge where, yeah, my gun isn't doing anything. I'm doing 4 damage per second. And I don't know about you, but 4 damage is not good when you're trying to defeat a boss level enemy. But there's nothing we can do about that. I just assume that we're not supposed to be able to kill him. So we escape the city while the hunter is hot on our trail. Just the absolute carnage is insane. We then make it out of space, and they say that we may have a certain part of this, and they're going to stop attacking us now. So that's great. No more attacks. Love that. Go up to the Eye, and Sam has unfortunately died. His daughter is now dadless, and I don't know what they're going to do about that whole situation. That was the last that I knew of. We go talk with Mato, where he believes he understands the glimpsing the unity part of what it means, because he's a monk or something. So he sends us to talk to another monk, Keeper Aquilus, and he helps us understand where the pilgrim final resting place was, where we go there, but we don't find a body, we don't find anything, we just find writings, where we have to go to an island on Hyla 2 on where the scorpion sting, whatever, hides something. We go to the last star of the Scorpius constellation, and we find the hunter and the emissary. Now, the emissary is Sam, but it's Sam from another universe. Get it? Yeah, I don't either. And the hunter is just Keeper Aquilus, but from another universe. So, yeah, that happened, and they're basically going to want us to choose between them and stuff like that. We go to the old NASA base on Earth and discover that Victor Aeza decided to destroy Earth's atmosphere basically just so we could explore the stars. Dick move, I know. We side with the emissary because, well, I don't know. I didn't really think about the situation of it at all. I'm sure I could have, chose to just not do that. Then we'd have a weird thing where we, start phasing, in another universe, which was completely, unneeded, or, it just didn't make sense. We hadn't had that happen, the entire time, so it's very weird to happen then. We basically fused the two universes together to save Raphael, where we now have a dead Raphael and a normal Raphael in the same room. That was weird. Barrett then wants to get his own powers. And I was thinking, no, we're not going to do it. But then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Whatever, Barrett. We'll go get your power. But first, of course, we kill another Starborn and achieve another artifact for our collection. I'm sounding like General Grievous with my collection. So, we almost die from that attack. It seems they're getting a little more powerful than they did before. Then I take Barrett to go get his own power, and it seems the power that he achieved is the ability to be more than one of him. And I don't know about you, but more than one Barrett is too much Barrett. In fact, one Barrett is too much Barrett. So, yeah, that was interesting. But now it was time for the final fight. In space, we make short work of the Scorpius and his allies, the Starborn Guardians, whatever. They literally barely touch my ship. In fact, they barely touch it so much where my shield regenerates while they're reloading. That is how powerful the Narwhal is. So, if you're looking for a ship and you have a lot of credits, go for that. It's an impressive ship. We then take down duplicates of ourselves, and this is a fairly simple fight. It's just literally taking down like ourselves, but what you'll notice is I begin to run extremely low on ammo. And that's not a good thing, because what I didn't know is they wouldn't have any 777mm ammo. So we switched to the shotgun, which will only have enough ammo to carry us to the end. The final battle with the Hunter is a battle of phasing in between different realities and different areas that we've been. And honestly, it's a very interesting battle because we're just like phasing in between like different versions of either reality, or maybe they're not different versions, but I don't know. It's just very odd overall. It was a very interesting boss fight that will, of course, end in his death, which, you know, that's good, I guess, where we finally are able to claim the final artifact. We claim the final artifact, head into space, kick up the hyperdrive, and we are out of there. We then discover that what all of our choices that we've made up to this point have been, and we make one final look at everything, and we head in where everything was just a dream. But yes, you can beat Starfield as Master Chief. So, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.